Well, Kevin Costner, of course, is a proven box office star, but there was some risk in casting Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard. Music videos are as close as she's been to a dramatic movie role. But Kevin told me he had faith because Whitney is the kind of performer who is both rare and irresistible.
There's many fabulous singers, but there's only there's that rare air of that voice and then statuesque. You know, she's a world-class woman, you know, and we've seen Streisand and we've seen Diana Ross, and Whitney is kind of in that exact same thing, and it's undeniable. We can't describe it, but we all know it when we see it, and I felt that when I saw Whitney.
So casting her was your choice?
Yeah, it was. In fact, you know, there's a lot of questions about that, the wisdom of doing it, but at the end of the day, you know, I have made some knothead decisions in my life, and I thought that she was like really worth it, you know. But here we are, we're done, and she's really very special.
The fact that this was an interracial love story, did that cause any kind of awareness on the set? Did you approach it differently?
I really didn't, you know. I mean, if it was a movie about an interracial thing, then the script would be a failure because it didn't deal with the interracial thing. But this was a story about a bodyguard protecting a superstar, and for me, that's end of story. The idea, you know, I am kind of colorblind when it comes to people, and there was discussion, should we address this issue? And I said, why? I said, it doesn't seem to be an issue to me.
There were rumors that the love scenes were much more extensive in the original shooting, and those were cut.
Yeah, they were cut.
Why were they edited out?
Well, they weren't conceived well. You know, it happens in a movie. There was not a fear of me, you know, kissing Whitney because, you know, or that racial thing, because I wouldn't allow the movie to be affected by some editorial or some outside fear. I don't operate that way. But it was very passionate and it was really strong. But when you saw it, it was like a miscalculation. And so it wasn't pulled out of fear, it was pulled out of, this is not good for the movie.
Kevin told me in his attempt to have a regular life, he likes to take his wife Cindy to the movies, and he calls The Bodyguard the ultimate make-out film. Talk about you and Cindy going to movies. Has she seen this?
Yes, yeah, she saw it. She saw it.
Did she like it? And think
she
it was
did.
effective?
She was surprised. She told me how much she liked it.
Did she think the love scenes worked?
Yeah.
Because she's seen you do like a lot of love scenes.
She's seen me do some stuff.
This poor lady has put in her time.
Yeah, no, this has got to be like the hardest gig in L.A. right now is watching this. She didn't see it with those scenes in it. We had cut those scenes out before. I mean, let's face it, I mean, for the next 10 years, I mean, the most interesting movies are about men and women, always will be, you know, and as long as I'm making movies, it's probably going to, you know, figure that I'm going to get paired with somebody.
And somebody gorgeous and all those kinds of things. Whitney told me that before The Bodyguard, she had turned down a lot of movie offers, including Dreamgirls and the Josephine Baker story. She felt she wasn't ready to tackle acting, but Kevin Costner changed her mind.
I wanted to do a movie because I felt like it was just a natural progression, you know, like it's another stage, you know, for me. If anything, I felt like, can I do this movie? Can I really pull this movie off? I mean, I'm playing opposite Kevin Costner. I mean, he's, you know, he's well-trained and all that kind of stuff, and he knows what he's doing. He's done a zillion movies. I mean, how am I going to stand up against this thing, you know? And
this was major, Whitney.
This was major. But I talked with Kevin, and, you know, he made me feel so comfortable. He was just like, Whitney, don't worry about it. He said, whatever you need, we will supply for you. I said, well, maybe I should take acting lessons. Or he said, no, that one you don't need. We don't want you to do that. We want you to be just like you are. That's what we want. We want you and what you bring to the character, and that's it, you know. So I think I felt more insecure than I did the pressure of doing this film.
Do you have bodyguards? Was there one on the set when you were making the movie?
Yes, I do. I have bodyguards, and you know, I don't necessarily have to have one all the time. I don't want to say what times I don't have and what times I do have, you know. They are willing to take a bullet for you, punches, you know, all kinds of things that could put you in harm's way. They are willing to take that for you. That is a very, sometimes it boggles my mind. And I asked David, David is my security, I say, David, are you really willing to die for me? He says, yes, I am, governist. He calls me governist. Yes, I am governist.
I love that.
Yeah, right? So, you know, yeah, it's a very, it's a very delicate situation.
This year has brought other changes to Whitney's life, of course. She married Bobby Brown and is now expecting a baby in March.
Before Bobby, at the first brush that you had with fame, you said at one point that you thought loneliness was part of life, that you almost expected that we all are virtually by ourselves. Now that you have a family of your own, what are your thoughts? I get lonely still, but I'm not alone. And he can be, it's funny, Bobby was, it's so funny, because we were in the same room, and he had crawled to the bottom of the bed, and I was at the top of the bed, and I was looking at TV, and I said, He said, "Are you lonely?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay." He crawled back up to the top. Oh. You know, you don't have to be by yourself to be lonely. You can be in a crowd of people and be lonely, you know. But now I have someone to share it with, and that makes it all worthwhile. Yeah. I tell you, it does.
I want to know how big this bed is. They're taking trains back and forth on the bed.
Gee, I forgot that follow-up question. It wasn't obvious, wasn't it? She's so charming in this movie.
Great interviews, both of those.
Oh, they're so
they
delightful.
both seem very comfortable.
Whitney, by the way, she recorded 6 original songs for the soundtrack of Bodyguard, and we're going to hear one of them later on in the show, as a matter of fact. The movie's now playing in theaters across
Pop
the
star
country.
Whitney Houston was nervous about making her acting debut in The Bodyguard, and as she tells Lisa Gibbons, movie star is not in her future.
In The Bodyguard, Whitney Houston plays a superstar singer-actress who's endangered by an obsessed fan. Kevin Costner plays the bodyguard hired to protect her.
And you're ready to die for me?
It's the job.
And you do it?
Houston says it wasn't easy.
Oh man, there were some hard moments, you know, in filming that I thought, are you going to make it, girl? Or can you do this? Is this something that, you know, you really thought, you know, yeah, I can do this. It's not all that you bargained for.
But tell me what you thought when you saw it.
I thought, wow.
You did it.
I did it. I actually did it, you know, and actually I enjoyed it. I have a reputation for being a bitch.
For years, Whitney turned down all movie offers, feeling she wasn't ready. And she says she had mixed feelings about the idea of being a movie star.
Movie star. Do you want to be a movie star, Whitney? No, I don't want to be a movie star.
Do you want to be an actress?
Yeah, I'd like to do some acting, you know. Contrary to popular belief, it's not all it's cracked up to be, you know. There's a lot to handle, and it's a lot, it's just so much sometimes, you know. And yet it's a wonderful thing that happened to one. I mean, that's what you want, you know, but I'm not dying to be a movie star, no.
Earlier this year, Whitney married singer Bobby Brown. She's now 6 months pregnant. How are you feeling with the pregnancy?
I'm very happy, you know. It's a joy to me. It's a blessing. It's exciting.
Because as a mom, you're bonded already, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Isn't that amazing?
We sing and we talk, and you know, I watch my stomach for hours just watching how it moves, you know, and when she hears her father's music, you know, I'm telling you something. I say she because I think it's a girl.
But don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure. And I don't want to say.
After a busy 1992, Whitney's looking forward to relaxing over the holidays. Lisa Gibbons, Entertainment.